Hey everyone, welcome to day 9 of the Priestess Novena. Yes, this is the last day, the final day of this 9-day journey. Thank you so much, those of you who have been doing this with me since we started. And if you weren't able to do all of the days, that's fine. They are recorded. You can go back. I know some of you are like a day behind or so. But here we are, nevertheless, on the 9th day. And whether you're here live or you're watching the replay, whenever you're watching the replay, please know that we are all connected. Hey Jill, good morning. So as you know, we've been doing this journey all about embodying divine leadership. And it's important on this 9th day, right, to remember why we want to embody divine leadership. What is the purpose of that? What's the intent? Why is that important? And it is essential because that is the type of leadership that is needed right now in the world, right? Divine leadership, embodied divine leadership, is a leadership that is of service to others without codependency. It is a sober type of leadership. I know a lot of you who are watching this are in the wellness profession or spiritual leaders and teachers. And in the wellness and spiritual sphere, I've been talking about this for a long time. There's a lot of rescuing that happens. There's a lot of perhaps well-intentioned codependency. There's a lot of programming old beliefs and old expectations around what it means to be a leader, what it means to be a wellness leader, a spiritual leader, right? What's the old paradigm? It means sacrifice. It means you put everybody else first. It means you go into rescuing or martyrdom. It means that you try to take other people's pain away from them. It's all this stuff. And the reason it's so challenging to untangle ourselves from that is because there is truth in all of those things. There is a treasure within all of those lies, really. So it becomes very confusing because obviously as a leader, you are here. You do want people to heal. You do want people to release their pain. You are here as a beacon of light and as an example of what it looks like to commit to your soul, to follow that courageous path. However, everyone is sovereign. That is one of God's sources, the divine biggest gift to us is our sovereignty. So what that means is that that it cannot be possible that somebody else's happiness is dependent on what we do. That would be that we're all codependent, that we're all responsible for each other. That's like the old paradigm, the old way of looking at things. That, by the way, is not sustainable. There's so many, hello Pat, hello Deborah. There's so many amazing healers out there, amazing wellness professionals, amazing therapists, amazing spiritual teachers that limit their leadership because they're scared of the codependency, because they have been in the past experienced the thing where they have all these clients or all these students or all these friends or all these relatives that are all depending on them, that are all, they just feel like they've lost themselves. So they extricate themselves from that. And then they're like, no, I can help a little bit, but I can't go back into leadership. I certainly can't step into the spotlight. I can't be bolder in my leadership because I won't be able to handle it. I won't be able to set the boundaries. I'm so sensitive. I'll just absorb it all like a sponge. And there's wisdom in that. I've certainly been there. And that is why we take this journey. That is why we have that prayer of Source, God, Divine. Teach me how to embody divine leadership. Teach me how to have these sacred boundaries so that more of your unconditional love can flow through me, more of your grace can flow through me, more of your divine solutions can flow through me. So you start to understand that divine leadership is generous, is powerful is actually the most selfless thing you can commit to. See how interesting that is, right? Because the ego could hear this and say, oh, well, that's selfish. A real leader just, forgets about themselves and just gives everything of themselves. When in truth, we've seen what happens, right? We've seen what happens when people who actually have so many gifts to share with the world become burnt out or become jaded or become cynical because they started relying on their own strength. They forgot that we're not supposed to do the heavy lifting, because you actually are able to serve more people when you commit to embodying divine leadership. Because what does that mean? Committing to embodying divine leadership is you're saying, I'm not just a physical body. I'm a divine being having this human experience. I have a soul that is wise, that is efficient, that is, compassionate and unconditionally loving. And I have all these other parts of me, well-intentioned parts that also can get sucked into the drama, sucked into the codependency. So I'm committing to having a daily practice where I'm connecting with my soul and I'm asking my soul to lead the way. Or soul, Holy Spirit, higher self, whatever word you want to use. And we know that when we do that, what we're saying is, God, source, divine, goddess, creatrix, you lead me. That's what embodying divine leadership is about. And so this novena, the Priestess Novena, as you know, or most of you know, it comes from my book that I'm working on, Birthing the Priestess Within. And the invocation that we say, right, the prayer that I really channeled, really came to me on an early Saturday morning when I couldn't sleep, is all about, it's interesting because when I wrote it, I was like, oh, this is cool. I mean, I knew there was something special about it, but it hasn't been until, of course, doing several of these novenas that I've come to understand, like the depth of it, that I've come to understand, like, okay, this is a 9-day journey to clear codependency, a 9-day journey to clear the drama, to clear the rescuing, to clear the resistance to our own light, right? That line, 9 days to clear lifetimes of fear. And although our ego can't understand how that happens, of course, the divine knows, our soul knows. So thank you for being here for these days, for these journeys, because you are in essence saying, I am committing to stepping more into my embodied divine leadership. And what does divine leadership also mean? It means you're willing to be seen and you're willing to be heard. Now, it doesn't mean that it will be in front of a camera, although it might. It will look unique to you. But the only way to lead, please know, is to be seen and to be heard. Because the whole purpose of leading is that you are an example, you are a beacon of light, you are a wisdom keeper. Not a know-it-all or like a guru, put me on a pedestal, I know better, not that. Right? But it does mean that we're coming out of hiding, that we're invited by our soul over and over and over and over and over and over again to remove the masks, to remove the, whatever we're keeping, like, no, I can't be bold. Remember one of the days in the novena that came up, the bold, the creative choice and boldness as a soul quality. And so that's why divine leadership is so vulnerable, is so courageous, is not for the faint of heart, because we are constantly being invited to be more authentic. And how the only way we can be more authentic is to do the inner work. Because honestly, sometimes we think we're being authentic. We can have so many blind spots. But when we do the inner work, we start to recognize, oh, wow, I've been really playing it safe here. I've been staying in my little safety zone. right? I've been watering down my offerings. I don't want to offend people, or I don't want people to be uncomfortable. Please don't misunderstand. Of course, your soul's never gonna guide you to be offensive or be in people's faces or be narcissistic. That's a whole other disease of the ego. However, I know, because I talk to my clients about this all the time, is how they can share their unique soul's medicine, and you're on the right path when you feel a little nervous or really nervous, when you feel a little vulnerable or really vulnerable. That's when you know you're on the right path, because by default, that's what divine leadership does. So why is this about the teenager, right? So this whole novena was embodying divine leadership by connecting, by healing your inner teen. Because our inner child within us, our inner children, they are essential, they are key to our leadership. In the Sophia Code, which is, a spiritual book that I study and read, and I lead the Sophia Circles, along with many other spiritual books. But I would say the Sophia Code and Course in Miracles are two of my ones that I just think I'll be a lifelong learner of. And in the Sophia Code, I'm being guided to share this. In the Sophia Code, you connect with 7 ascended masters, all divine feminine ascended masters, right? You start with Isis, and then you go to Hathor, and then you go to Green Tara, and then you go to Mother Mary, and then you go to Mary Magdalene, and each of them, there's their story, there's a channeled message, there's a initiation you go through. They're all mentoring you. They're not all there to, saying, worship me. They're like, no, I'm your mentor in your divine leadership. So by the time you get to Mary Magdalene, you've done a lot of initiations. You've done a lot of work. Mary Magdalene's a lightning bolt. She is like, you are here to lead. You are here to be a way shower. Some of you have been doing this for lifetimes. You've been preparing for these times. Some of you might have lived during the times of Jesus and Mary Magdalene's time. I mean, it's like you're being prepped. Like, yes, you're a leader. It's time to be seen. And then the next ascended master after that is Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin suddenly comes in with inner child work. And you're like, what? Because here you're all like, yes, I'm a leader. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go be seen. I've just cleared all this stuff. I've gone through all these initiations. You're ready to step into leadership. And Kuan Yin comes in and she's like, nope. Hold off. Wait. Your prayer is to be a leader with integrity, to be a leader that is actually here to birth the new golden age of miracles. And the only way to do that is to honor your inner child, and to heal and to do whatever healing needs to be done, and to receive her gifts. And I'm using the pronoun her, but of course our inner children can be any gender, no gender, and all of that. So it's really in our face at that point, right? And we can be arrogant and say, no, I'm ready for leadership. I don't need to do inner child work, or I've done all my inner child work. Like, there's no such thing. Until we ascend, there's always more inner child work. So this is essential. And our inner teenager, it's interesting, as I've been doing this, I've remembered how many people, inner child work in itself is like, ooh, inner child work, a lot of people can do that, or can be misunderstand it as kind of this self-indulgent or feel-good thing. But then when you say inner teenager, many people are just kind of like, I don't know, my teenage years. It's kind of when I taught 7th grade and people would ask me, what do you teach? And I would be like, oh, I teach 7th grade. And so many people would be like, oh, I remember my 7th grade, or I have a 7th grader at home, or all of that. So I've been advocating for teens my whole life, really. So this is courageous, because our inner teen, when you're a teenager, you're finding your identity. You're starting to explore, who am I? What do I want? What do I need? How does the world respond to me? Wait, how do I fit in? There's all of these, it's, the teenage years are so much polarities. One is, I'm me, don't tell me who I can be, this is who I am. And then total obsessive awareness of what other people think of you, right? It's like this polarity. It's a powerful time in our life's journey, and it's an essential time to honor and to help those inner teens that might still be holding some outdated beliefs so that they can become the allies that they are for your divine leadership. We need the fuel of our inner teen, and they need us as their divine mother and father. We become our own parent, our own good parent. And if you didn't have those type of parents, that's, which many is the story for many of us. And this isn't any judgment on our parents. We know they did the best they could. But if we don't have that as a model, then we've had to learn it. And who better to teach us to be a divine mother? One is Mother Mary. And so the card, the message for today, Our Lady of Nourishment. And she says here, she says, turn to her with your desires and ask for her help. She will not judge or condemn you. She will help you. Sometimes she may show you that what you think you want is actually not what you need or want in truth. She will do so with mercy if you ask her to. So this card is all about what it is you need right now to nourish you. And I would add to that what it is you need right now to nourish your divine leadership. Your ego might think, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. But the ego, Course in Miracles says the ego's rule is look but never find. It loves looking, it loves searching, it loves, and that's its trick, right? Just look, 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 and never find. But Mother Mary is saying here, don't be afraid of your desires. Come to me with them. And because Mother Mary is all about helping you keep your promises to yourself, she might also say, you think you want this, but that's not actually what you need right now. So and then I pulled, I've been using this deck all week. Well, not all week, but a lot of the days during the week. And guess who showed up? Mother Mary again. And it says, I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. My courage gives birth to the divine. My courage gives birth to the divine. So this novena is courageous. Inner child work is courageous. Inner teenage work is courageous. Committing to embodying your divine leadership is courageous. And it takes commitment. So today when we go into our 9 minutes of silence on that infinity point, I invite you to welcome all of your teenage parts. All of the teenage parts from 13 to 19. To be present. And they don't have to, they're teenagers, right? So they don't have to be sitting in stillness. They might dance, they might move, they might just kind of sit in the background. But you're inviting them, you're extending the invitation. And as you extend the invitation and we sit in these 9 minutes, we welcome our soul, we welcome the divine to, on this 9th day, do any final healing, any final activation, any final divine initiation, so that when this novena is done, you are empowered to step into greater leadership. I have no interest in these novenas being an escape, being a band-aid, being something that you just consume and consume and consume and it changes nothing in your life. That is my prayer, and that is woven into the novena. So I truly believe that if you're watching this, that is what's going to unfold for your life. Because that is my soul's medicine. That is one of my divine mission, is to awaken leaders. And not just awaken them, but that they take on the mantle of their leadership. So visualizing that infinity symbol underneath you. You're sitting on it. So if you haven't done this before, here's the cover of my book. You're sitting on that infinity point. And invite your teenagers, your 13-year-old, your 14-year-old, your 15-year-old, your 16-year-old, your 17-year-old, your 18-year-old, your 19-year-old. I know my 16-year-old has been very present, but now I'm inviting all of them. And remember that you are a divine being and you can create space. So this is very spacious. You're not all crowded together. There's lots of space. And we invite the Ascended Masters that have been our overlighting mentors throughout this novena, right? We invite Mother Mary, and we welcome Isis, and we welcome Kuan Yin, and we welcome Green Tara. Welcome all the Ascended Masters, Hathor, Mary Magdalene, White Buffalo Woman. If there's any that I forget to name, they're all welcome. Creating this field of divine empowerment, this resonance, they're raising the vibration. They're not seeking our worship. They're not seeking us to put them on a pedestal. Over and over, that's their message to us. Don't put me on a pedestal. Don't put me up there unreachable. I'm here as a bodhisattva, right? As an ascended master mentor for you. So they're here in celebration. Yes, that you took this journey. And there are here your teenagers from 13 to 19-year-old. They are here. And this is a commitment. This is the word that's landing. This is a commitment ceremony and celebration. You are committing. You are committing to your divine embodied leadership. And you are committing to doing that with the most integrity and love. And you know that that means that you are committed to this relationship with your inner children, including, of course, your inner teenagers. And we welcome the support of God. God is the creator, creatrix, great mystery, to bring ease and grace to this process. I'm feeling Kali Ma entering with her mama bear energy, as she helps create those pristine boundaries that you need in your life, so that every class you teach, every offering you teach, every product you create, every session with your clients and students, and of course, this ripples out into your personal life. So all of those are brought to this higher vibration, to this sober space, to this free of codependency space, because that is what the world needs. And remember, Kali Ma is as subtle as a sledgehammer, but she does it with so much love. So she comes in with her dance, her fiery dance, cutting cords of attachment, cutting cords of codependency, cutting cords of rescuing and martyrdom, cutting cords of watering down your message and apologizing for who you are. All of that. And so let's take our candle. And you know, I had the other one finished, so I have this one. And let's do our invocation. As this candle burns, my soul within me burns. As this wax melts, resistance in me melts. 9 days to clear, lifetimes of fear. As I give, I receive. As I heal, I am healed. Doors open, I walk through. I am ready for the new. Abundance comes with ease and grace, for I have finally found my place. So I'm going to put the timer, and you trust whatever unfolds during these 9 minutes. Right? Your 9-minute commitment celebration, commitment ceremony. And let's begin. Start taking some deep breaths. If there's anything you want to write down, go ahead and do that. Congratulations on completing this novena. Remember, it is recorded, so you can go back if you missed any of the days. You can go back and do it all over again. You can stretch it out over a longer time. I know I've known people who've reached out to me who they've taken months, like they do one a week instead of one a day. Do what you need to do, but do something, right? And most of all, I just see before you that golden path of your leadership. You are a leader. The world needs your unique soul's medicine. And nobody else can fulfill the piece of this mission that you have to fulfill. No one else can. And although we have lifetimes and lifetimes to do it, if we decide not to do it this lifetime, that means we repeat all the lessons, all the initiations in another lifetime and do that. I, for one, am like, I don't want to repeat those initiations. I want to do it this lifetime. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Jill. And Deborah, I know I missed some of the comments. But thank you so much. I don't have the other deck. It's so odd. I went to get it and I didn't. So I'm just going to pull a final Mother Mary card and then we will be done. And I'll be on my way to Champaign to visit my two babies, because they're like 20 and 22 that are at U of I. We're going to go visit them today. So I'm excited about that. Thank you. Jumana? I don't remember how to say your name. Sorry if I'm messing that up. Okay. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. So we got Our Lady of Manifest Miracles, number 11. Our Lady of Manifest Miracles. So I'll just read a little. Oh, and I opened right to it. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm going to read this one. Thank you, Sharon. This oracle brings you a special task. All right, you've got a special task, or we all do, if you are willing to accept it. Because remember, we have free will. This task is to become a sacred vessel through which the miracles of the Mother can be made manifest. Isn't that so beautiful? To become a sacred vessel through which the miracles of the Mother can be made manifest. And it says to fulfill the task, whether you know what that is right now or not, you'll need to have courage. Courage, right? Courage to step into your divine leadership. So you are a vessel of miracles, not just for you and your life, but for the world. So go out and lead, beautiful ones. I will see you soon because there's lots of things coming up, and I hope to see you then. Bye.